Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night to you all great and wonderful Biafran people. I am Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe-Oma. Ihe-Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. By the mercy and grace of Chukwu Kikabiama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of Directorate. Today, the first day of January in the year 2025, I have come to you, great Biafrans, to address you on very, very topical and very important issues concerning us as a people. I as well greet you in the name of the ancestors of our land, and above all, in the name of Chukwu Kikabiama, I welcome you to this very important broadcast. I will crave your indulgence. My broadcast normally does not last or stay more than 1 hour, but today you have to be patient because this very broadcast is a different format. Let me begin by saying that the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB for short, began the journey of liberation, the journey for self-determination, the journey of freedom, and the journey of liberty when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, without his own knowing, he was called upon to gather the children of Chukwu Abiyama for the work ahead. He gathered us in their millions. And along the line, like the sower, those who know the Bible story, like the sower who went out to sow, the seedling, the seeds he was sowing, many fell on unproductive land and ground and withered away. And many fell upon fertile land and they were nourished. They sprout, they grew and bore fruit. That is this in a very concise format, the short history of IPOB to this very moment that I'm addressing you tonight. And I will go ahead to give you a reason why many fell by the side or by the wayside. There are many family members of IPOB today who are not very conversant or who do not actually know what the mission statement of the indigenous people of Biafra contains. Not to talk about other Biafrans who are not even, let me say, our agitation for freedom. They do not look at it in a very, acceptable way, because they are not aware what, where, and what still remains the fundamental objective for which the indigenous people of Biafra was formed. And that is why I said today's broadcast is a different one, because I intend to educate not only IPOB family members, but as well Biafrans and the world in general, So that at the end of today, those who were deliberately and who have been deliberately attributing all manner of criminality and crime and anarchy in our land to IPOB must have a rethink, or they will perish with whatever evil attributions they will attribute to IPOB going forward. The indigenous people of Biafra, everyone who have been baptized in the fire of this very struggle, hold these truths, that we as men, as human beings, we are created, and as we were created, we were as well endowed by our Creator with certain undeniable, inherent, and inalienable rights, among which are the right to life, the right to our liberty, the right to personal and societal development, the right of the Biafran people to pursue happiness and be self-evident, and the right, above all, for us as a people to determine what format, what manner, what type of political, cultural, economic, and social system we want to practice in our land. These are the rights that forms part of the fundamental mission statement of indigenous people of Biafra. I'm telling you this today because tomorrow, when people are saying, people may be wondering, we've been on this. Yes, we are on this because we are convinced of the trueness of our cause. What are our objectives as a freedom fighting movement? What are the objectives that we set out to achieve from day one? I am going to be very concise. What I'm giving you today is a concise or abridged format of our mission statement. But I'll give you the ones that are very key for us to take something away today. We as a people, having recognized that endowment by Chukwu Abiyama, not any other person, having recognized our right to determine our way of life, it is on that basis that we have affirmed our right to be a sovereign, independent, and a free nation, and a free people. We, based on that as well, have determined freely our economic, political, and cultural system, as above all, as recognize these freedoms that we, by ourselves, we have recognized it as inherent to us. But the world community has gone a little bit, they have done something practical to collate this right into a written format and guaranteed this right to indigenous people as the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous People to Self-Determination, Articles 5, Articles 6, 7, and so on, as well as the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. These are charters, these are laws, international regulations, international laws that the Nigerian state by itself accepted and domesticated as part of its law. Therefore, apart from our inherent right to self-determination, the Nigerian constitution, the Nigerian ground norm also recognize that we have this right. Again, what propels us? What propels the indigenous people of Biafra? It's a question I'm asking. What do you think propels us into pursuing this right despite the dangers ahead, the challenges, and the many bloods of our people that has been spilled by the infamous government of the zoo and those of our collaborators? We took into account the danger of extinction facing us as a people, as a race. Anybody who lies to himself who doesn't understand this fact is lying to himself. The people, the indigenous people of Biafra, every nation that is in this very, very unit, we are under danger, a very serious danger of extinction, because those who are after you know who you are. Not only that they know who you are, they want to take over whatever heritage you have been endowed with or endowed upon. It became a duty for us, therefore, to take up that task to ensure that we conserve the cultural heritage and natural values of our people. It became a duty, a call, a responsibility upon all of us that we must conserve our cultural heritage and conserve our national values as a people for the benefit of our children and for the generation yet unbound. I am telling you about the objectives why we have remained unwavering. I am giving you the reasons, the grounds upon which this very movement has or was built, and on the ground upon which it operates as I speak to you. We know that we have suffered untold hardship, violations of our fundamental human rights from left, right, and center by the Nigerian establishment. The protection of the internationally guaranteed and proclaimed rights that we are supposed to naturally claim in the zoo called Nigeria. They don't give us any chance to even claim some of this right. And therefore, it is either we remain subservient, we accept the situation as they have given it to us, or we make a change. And these form the basis of the objectives, the basis of the foundation of the Biafran liberation movement, propelled and headed by the indigenous people of Biafra. And in doing that, very, very importantly, in doing this, in pursuing these our inherent right, these I mentioned, I wish to repeat, these are inherent. When someone says something is inherent, it is born with us. All the attempts that has been made in the past, in the present, or in the future to sway us out of these inherent rights is dead on arrival, because it's part of us. And in pursuing this right, we made a very conscious decision. We made a very conscious decision to take up this responsibility and to pursue it utilizing every legally permissible international rules and processes. We made a deliberate and conscious decision. When Mazi Chika was saying IPOB is a peaceful, non-violent movement, it is not because he's just saying it. It is a conscious decision that we made. We made it in order to ensure that we do not and we will not play into the hands of those who are out to continue the enslavement of the children of Chukwuka. And we will continue to do this until we get to our destination, which is a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra nation. Do you know why I'm pointing out these issues to you, these very points? I know why I'm pointing out to you is because when you look at what is going on in our land presently, when you observe critically the constant killings and kidnappings in Biafra land, and after all these crimes are committed, the Nigerian government will run to their press and attribute all these crimes to the indigenous people of Biafra, to IPOB. They will call us all sorts of names. And some of you who do not have the privilege to reason, you will jump on the board and you begin to call IPOB one name or the other. And I'm telling you, this day, at least let it not be that nobody explained to you. I'm telling you today that IPOB cannot, will never set its instruments of defense against the people that it has sworn an oath to defend. You may believe me, you may not believe me. That's not even the point. I'm not saying that you believe me. I'm saying this today. My broadcast today is special because my voice. So that at the time, my private time, it will be that he told them. He said it. Like we have all been saying and giving you things that will happen before they happened. Many will not even take note, make attention to these things. They are interested in Hollywood movies and content creation. Freedom fighting is none of this. What is our vision? If you have a mission, what is the vision of IPOB if and when they get Biafra? We are prepared because we have thought out what we want to do, how we are going to achieve it, and what we will do with what we have achieved. It is our conviction. It is our conviction that a sovereign, independent Biafran nation will be the crystallization. It will be the manifestation. It will be the coming true of the cherished hope and aspirations of the people, the Biafran people, who have seen in the establishment of this territory as a last hope for peace and security for their people. And above all, a last hope for the survival of a people whose existence is under great threat of extinction. If you do not understand that you as a race, whether you're Igbo race, or a Igbo nation in Biafra, you are a Bibio, you are Israel, you are whatever, as long as you have traced your ancestry to a single ancestry as we have, you are under the danger of great extinction that has been put in place by those who know who you are and who wants to take over your heritage. The Biafra which we agitate for, the Biafra which we agitate for, the Biafra which we hunger after, the Biafra which we look forward to, that Biafra for which the ultimate price has been paid by millions of Biafran people, is one in which we shall respect the sanctity of every life. How then, if this is our vision, how then can we use any defensive instrument against the same people that we have taken oath to defend and respect the sanctity of their life? We have a vision to restore the dignity of the Biafran people. We want to ensure that individual rights and liberties are recognized and protected in the new Biafra. It is a Biafra where the rule of law is paramount and all are answerable to and equal before the law. It's not, when you begin to imagine where you are at the moment, where you have found yourself in the contraption, in the cesspool of corruption, like the British, let me say, David Cameron, apologies to him, a fantastically corrupt nation that has no remedy, a nation who is the flesh of its people, a nation when their people have problems outside of the shores of their land, they will turn the blind eye. That is not the Biafra we are looking for, and that is not the type of Biafra that IPOB has set up for. And that is why I'm telling you, for you to understand, what are these people actually looking for? What are some of the visions I've mentioned to you? There are many others. Are what propels us, are what motivates us to be dedicated, to be devoted to this cause of the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra nation. And above all, we are going to have a Biafra nation that will take its appropriate pride of place amongst the Committee of Nations. Great Biafrans, you may not hear me again, in this format of broadcast, but before today, it touched my spirit that I have to, because sometimes in our language, in Igbo, on this very, sorry when I speak Igbo, because there are some English, there are some Igbo situations I can't properly. Even if I do translate it in English, it will not give the same meaning. What we use in this very, from the onset, is what is so dear to our people. If anybody na for and ogu. And when you jidego for, okay, now this brings me to what is going on in our land. The criminality, the killings, the kidnappings, and the involvement of politicians in all manner of these criminalities in our land. When they tell you there is a problem in Anambra and Imo State, and maybe Ebonyi or Abia or Enugu, there is something that General Abacha said when he was alive. And he said, if criminality in any is form, or even if you call it insurgency, like you have all these bandits now, they call them, and the Fulani herdsmen. Whenever it takes more than 6 months to be put down, then you know that the hand of government is in it. The government is behind playing the music that those who are committing these crimes are dancing to. The politicians in our land, I want to tell you today, those of you who have gathered our young men together, handed guns to them, and told them to begin to turn these guns against their own people. Before I come, you must retrace your steps. Today is January 1st, 2025. I may not have the opportunity to warn you again. If you call it warning, let it be. But I may not have the opportunity to give you this information again. You must retrace your steps, or you will follow the path that you have set out for other people. And specifically, the governor of Imo State, the governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, and the governor of Ebonyi State, Nifru. I hope I got your name correct. Those and the small politicians in your midst who have formed their militias for the sake of election purposes, spilling the blood, desecrating the land. Now, for when Biafra will rise up against you, you will not have a hiding place. I'm giving you this information. If it is exposed, I'm giving it to you now. You must retrace your step. Hope Uzodinma You are the one, and Soludo as well. Some of you went to import killers into our land from Mbamiri to come and spill the blood of your people. What I'm telling you tonight, or today, whatever night, afternoon, or morning in your location, what I'm telling these governors today is that they must make a deliberate and clear, they must take a deliberate and clear action to disband all these murderers that they imported into Biafra land, into Igbo. This now takes me to Hanes and Igbo. I said today's address to our people is a special one. It takes me to Hanes and Igbo. I'm sure our people will remember. Maybe some time back, I called Ohaneze to put their acts together, and that if they do not put their acts together, that they will become irrelevant in the affairs of Ndibo. They said that they are Ohaneze Ndibo, a social, cultural organization. Our people probably do not know that Ohaneze Ndibo is a gathering of murderers and killers and bloodsuckers. Quote me, Mazi Edoziem Neku. Ohaneze Ndibo, with the exception of the time when it was founded by men of integrity, men who have love for their people, men who wished the best for their people. This organization has metamorphosized into something that is undescribable. Do you know, Biafran and Igbo people in particular, that the IPOB of Ohaneze is peopled by the politicians who, like Hope Uzodinma and what is his name, Soludo and the rest of them, whose hands are filled with the blood of their people. When they now leave being governor, they may still go to Abuja and want to represent themselves there. But the painful part is that these individuals are made part of the IPOB of Ohaneze. That IPOB, that organization that has said it is its responsibility to do what? To defend and seek the good of the Igbo nation. And then I'll ask you a question. How can a Hope Uzodinma, who imported Mbamiri young boys, to come and, you know, the number of blood this man has shed in Imo State is unthinkable. But I won't go for that. How can you imagine that that person who was there as a governor, whether merited or not merited, but he had that opportunity and he used it to spill the blood of young men, young women of our land. And now when he had finished that job, he will go back to Ohaneze and begin to sit on your own affairs. How do you think such an organization will protect your interest? If not being at the influence or at the control of external forces. Ohaneze, you have one last chance, and today your next election will begin this one last chance. And I'm not going to tell you what happened to those who were there in a succession. I'm not going to tell you. Elders among you, those who were there, who took it upon themselves to sell the birthright of their people. Did they stay to enjoy it? Ohaneze, you have an assignment. The assignment is that you must reinvent yourself. You must reorganize yourself. If you, those, I know there are men of goodwill amongst you. That is those who are in Ohaneze, who have the interests of Alibo at heart. And to you, this message going, if you keep quiet and keep silent and allow the evil men to take over, when the repercussions will come, I don't know if it will spare you because you are aware. But when you know and you do nothing, you cannot say, at least in how do we say it? In normal life, we say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. I am telling you now so that you will not say you don't know. I know many of you know. Ohaneze must be dismantled and reorganized to put at the center of its objective, people-centric policies, the interest of our Alibo, and not the interest of a politician, and not the interest of those who are manipulating you from outside. A word is enough for the wise. I'll leave this at this point. Now I will go to those who call themselves the judiciary in Igbo land. How sad, especially in Ebonyi State. How very, very, very sad. Governor Nwifuru, you are there. It is under your watch. You cannot excuse yourself because you may now, people will say you are not in charge. If you are in charge, who is the governor of Ebonyi State? Is Dr. Nwifuru, or I hope I get his name correct. If I don't get it correct, please, people should send me a message to that effect. But Governor Nwifuru, it is under your watch that young Biafra men and women are incarcerated. When they are discharged and acquitted by the courts, your prosecutors will go back and seize them from the same court and keep them in prison. 4 years and counting, or 3 years and counting. Three years and counting. It has become the process. And you people may be wondering, you are doing this and nothing is, you think nothing is going on, nothing is happening. For almost 3 good times, there are young men and women, civilians, those who have nothing to do with IPOB, even if they have anything to do with IPOB. Even if they have anything to do with IPOB, you come to a court, you bring them to a court if you have anything against them, and the court discharge and acquit them in the same court premises. You will use security agents to rearrest them and take them back to prison and bring back the same charge again to the same court to charge them. Excuse me. I'm a little bit upset. You bring the same charge again, on and on again. And we are not noticing what is going on. This year will be different. And why, before it becomes different, we are calling out those who need to make amends. Those, but it's not only, it's just a case study. It is not in Ebonyi State. From Ebonyi to Enugu to Umuahia, we have our people in prisons. What have they done? Because they say they want freedom. You arrest them, you bring them to court, and when they are discharged and acquitted, you still keep them incarcerated. What manner of oppression is that? Do not forget, he who is, somebody will say, well, what can I lose? Unuabundi, Chalo, mansions, glass houses, Unuabundi, you have a lot to lose. In River State, I believe we still have people there. In Anambra, in Imo, and of course, in Ebonyi, which is our case study, Enugu as well. These governors, if they are not listening, I know that their personal assistants or those close to them are listening. You guys or you people must begin to do a retrospect of why you came assuming you came to serve the people. Are you serving their interest, or are you serving the interest of an outsider? What I'm telling you now is that when those outsiders cannot save you, because they cannot fight. They will not be able to face what will beat them. It is you, it is in your hands now to make amends before the time is late. The judiciary must stop unnecessarily wasting the years of our youths, our young men and women. There are 17-year-old girls, boys, teenagers. Imagine if it is your son or daughter. You take them and put them in prison, waste their years, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you waste it in such a condition. Have your conscience been seared that you do not think anymore? We will awaken it at the appropriate time. And now, this one is to Tinubu and his government. President Tinubu, you can attest to the fact that since you assumed your position in Nigerian way, you have become president, merited or unmerited. It's egal. It's irrelevant to us. Since you came into power, IPOB somehow haven't thought it any necessary to confront you. We are not afraid of confrontation. That is what we are born with that. And when we begin, we don't turn back. We have not confronted you, but we are going to confront you if you go ahead with this Ruga nonsense in Igbo land and Biafra land. I repeat it. With this Ruga nonsense, Buhari called it so many names and gave it so many whatever. If Buhari, who is a Fulani man, who is a cattle herder, who have the agenda of their progenitor, who wants them to, Uthman and Fodio, to send us all in the Atlantic Ocean. And when he didn't succeed, he calling us a dot. If you want to do your Nigerian politics, please don't bring any program, any project that is quoted to flood our land with Fulani people and their cattle herding. Don't do that, except you want to have a real issue with Biafrans and IPOB, and we are ready for you. If this Ruga is a national cake, we don't want it. We do not want it. If it is a development, we, the Biafran people, we say thank you. Give it to those who want it. How can you people always be insensitive? But we know your agenda. It's not that you're insensitive. You know what you're doing. You know, all of you know what you're doing. You people, the French and the British now to go and destroy the Igbo race, to go and destroy Biafra. They are there. All those who you have, those that will be sent will die in Biafra land. They will die because the land of Biafra and Ada Biafra will eat all of them. We do not need Yoruga, and we do not need any other program in that format. What do you need? Look, these people, don't think we are stupid though. We are not stupid. Our people are known as farmers and merchants. These, in the days gone by, these are what our people are known for. Merchants and farming. Now tell me, in this very dispensation we are in, we have merchants, Biafran merchants, Igbo merchants all over the zoo. Have the government used their resources to go and forcefully take anybody's land and give it to the Igbo people and say, because they are merchants, they don't have they are in fact, because our merchants, we are not in one place. It's like they say the Fulanis are itinerary in nature. Our merchant business is also itinerary in nature. Have any government done that? So for any one of you to even think that anything to put in our midst to change our demography, I'm telling you, not in this life, not in 1,000 years, it will not happen. Rule your zoo in peace. Don't bring Ruga, and we will continue to face our struggle. We will continue to embark on our project, and we will get there. But if you want to put more trouble into your plate, please bring this Ruga to Biafra land. Bring it. Tinubu, if you're listening or your people are, go and tell him, bring this Ruga to Biafra land. Then this car will start with you. Land is sacred. And even though those who step their feet on that sacred ajah, they don't know what it means. But our land is sacred. And there is nothing this generation can do better than to ensure that the sacredness of Ajah and Alibo remains as it is. The desecration, the blood that has been spilled, this is what I have always said, that when Biafra comes, the job begins for us. Because it is not just the physical manifestation of a sovereign entity, of a geographic space. It is the work, the spiritual work that we go into making sure that all the desecration of our land is returned to its virgin situation, or virgin position, as it were. And in pursuing this very objective, it behoves every member, everyone, every person who has found himself in the family of IPOB as a principal officer, and you hold any position of service, know you that your position of service is to the service of the Biafran people. It's not for your personal aggrandizement. It's not for your selfishness. It's not for you to begin to make voice note and begin to, Nasser Mabandai, who are you? You are nothing. You are on this job. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. Not just other people. I'm talking to myself so that we do not lose focus. We do not take our eyes off the ball. We have entered a critical time in this very struggle. If you make a mistake, you will lose your life. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you honestly. If you have joined this very struggle for personal reasons, and not that it is for you want to make sure that your people and your nation is free, then you are in the wrong place. And if you are a principal officer, you are definitely holding the wrong position. When I was, reading our mission statement, when you look at holistically, in fact, if you put it in 2 sentences, the mission of IPOB is not only that we want a restored Biafra, but we want a restored Biafra in which our people will live and be happy to live as a people, in which they will not be harassed, be killed, be kidnapped, be denied their rights, be denied just simple amenities, and only for somebody to be thinking of bringing murderers and killers into our midst. That is simply why IPOB was set up. And I can understand many of you when I was saying that many of you started this journey at the beginning. Many thought it's coming tomorrow. Oh my goodness, Biafra. But they were not sad in the spirit of Biafra. They only saw the physical manifestation as the ultimate. It's not the ultimate. I say that we will be the rebuilders of that which was destroyed in Biafra. And if you are not morally sound, you are not morally equipped. Because when I hear stories, some of these stories that the principal officers are using their position to work contrary to objectives, I want to say this today so that it will, everybody, if you did not hear it, somebody will tell you. Your position of service only has one objective: to serve the Biafran people and to serve the Biafran nation. In serving the Biafran people, you're serving yourself. In serving the Biafran nation, you're serving yourself. In making Biafra to be great, you're making yourself to be great. Don't look myopically at yourself to be the objective of you holding a position, because you will make a great mistake going forward. 2025 is here. What are our policy objectives for 2025 going forward? I have enumerated to you how we began, what our struggle is all about. I have also reached out to those who have become a cog in the happiness of our people to have a change of heart. There is consequences when they do not, and that they will only know who will only tell it at that appropriate time, because maybe they will not be there to tell the story anymore. But they have an opportunity now, or Haneze has an opportunity. The politicians have an opportunity. If you know, whether you're in the House Assembly, what do they call it? The Nigerian National Assembly, you're in the Senate or whatever, House of Representatives. If you know that you don't have the capacity, you do not have the ability to stand and speak for your people, project their interests and protect and safeguard and defend their interests, you do not have any business calling yourself a politician of Biafran extraction or of Igbo extraction. Now, what does IPOB have in store for Biafrans the year going forward? Our policy objectives will be, for the year 2025, will be a consolidation on the progress already made. Progress already made in so many areas, within and external. I want to just put it that way. We are going to consolidate on the progress. Have we made progress? Enormous progress. But the ones that you can see, I remember when I was telling our people 2 years ago, in fact, IPOB have continued to hammer on this very object or this very subject, and luckily and thankfully, last year that one just passed by, our people, they listened. There is no nation that will allow what it eats to be in the hands of other nation. It doesn't happen. If you do that, you have sold yourself, in fact, less than thorough. There's no nation. That is why IPOB has maintained that the full security of the Biafran nation is not just a question of we having what to eat. It is an issue that concerns our national security as a race, as a people. I will remind you, the time of the war, what the Nigerian government wanted to do was to send poisonous food to our people, then they would decimate everybody. They still have that mindset. The other day, the North said their food will no longer move to the East and whatever, and the West and the East, they are working hand in hand. Don't be deceived. They are working hand in hand. All of them, in all that they do, their target is the people of Biafra, the Igbo nation. You can see it everywhere. Is it in Lagos? Is it in Kano? In where? You see their actions. They target you, and they target you without apology. Therefore, when we began this very project of going back to the land, we knew that our people, of course, traditionally, we were farmers, but we are adventurous people as well. And we know that because the youths have been enticed out of our land to go to other places to look for how they can make the ends meet. Convincing them about the necessity, about the importance of going back to the farm wouldn't be easy. But I can confidently say today that that message was well received was well accepted and it was implemented by our people. And I can as well say, we haven't gotten there yet. No, not at all. We haven't gotten there. We will get to, there's nothing you put in Biafra land that will not bear you fruit. I tell you, this is a rainforest. Don't forget if anybody can tell you. There is no fertile land you can find anywhere more than you can find in Biafra land. Therefore, the issue of land, our land being fertile, is out of the question. It is for you to take the wheel. It is for you to assume that consciousness and make the step. Farmers are protected in any country. They are, in fact, protected more than even those who create employment, because everybody must eat. So Biafra land will not be a different situation. It will not be a different case. Go back to the farm. You can combine both things, because farming is not those who have the means. You can combine both if you have other businesses that you're doing, but don't neglect the farming. This is one area that we will consolidate as we move into the new year. And I want to tell Biafrans again, like I told you a couple of years, if you are making money in any way, even if it is $100 that you can save, you save this $100, 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira. Don't keep it in naira. Go and put that money in a foreign currency. Either you put it in euro, you put it in Swiss francs, you put it in dollar, okay, yeah, for now it can still go. Put it in any of these foreign currency, because Nigeria is not, they haven't finished with our people. You have all your millions in your account. Don't ask now, you cannot allow a stick to stick you in the eye a second time. And history has a way of repeating itself. If I may, let me just repeat this mantra. And there's a truism in that. And it will only repeat itself on those who do not learn from history. Begin to make little savings. Those, and specifically I'm talking to businessmen, because it is you, the businessmen, who will be the engine upon which the new Biafra nation will begin to operate at its restoration. I don't know if you guys understand me. Those of you, all of you that are genuinely doing your business, if you make a profit of, let me say, 1 million, take $100, $200, put it somewhere, don't look at it. Continue to do that, because when the time will come, Nigeria has no money. They have no money, and they are in debt that 10 generations will not be able to pay. And what are they using to pay this, take these loans? Your natural resources. Your natural resources in Biafra land. That is what Buhari used. He used oil. Oil almost wasn't bringing anything. They turned to gas. And the same thing Tinubu is doing. Excuse me. They are using your resources. They are not touching the resources in the north. Gold and the rest of it. They are not touching them all. is on your own. So before we stop them, we must be prepared so that when Biafra comes, of course, that will be a story at the appropriate time. But for us not to be told that these are your resources, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to China. It belongs to India. It belongs to France. It belongs to United Kingdom, because it belongs to Europe, because your government borrowed money and used this as collateral. We will not let ourselves be unprepared. So I said, like I said it last time, I know forget that the money exchange rate has come down, because yes, our people went home. Funds were repatriated from abroad to the zoo. Definitely, there was and there is, as we speak, a surplus of foreign currency. That means the demand wasn't that as high as it used to be. So it stabilized the naira a little bit. But give it a week or two, you come back to where you are. Be prepared. That is my only message to you. Now, in 2025, we will strengthen our internal structures, and this pertains specifically to IPOB. We will strengthen our internal structure to make it be in tune with the realities on the ground. And I will be loath to giving you details, but I want to let you know that IPOB and the Directorate of State and our men on the ground will not allow the status quo to remain going forward. It will not allow the status quo to remain. The policy that governments in our land churn out for our people, we will dissect them. We will review them, and we will take interest. If it does not attune to our objectives, then we will take action on that. That is why I said the internal structure of IPOB will be strengthened to make it ready for the battles ahead. Going into 2025, we already have started asking our people to bring their wealth back to Biafra land. We are doing this with all sense of responsibility. Yes, we are looking for Biafra, but we must ensure that while we are on it, that our people have the opportunity, they have the environment, they have the will to develop their given talents and gifts. Therefore, going into New Year again, actually we roll out projects that will attract. In fact, honestly, we do not actually need foreign finance into our land, because the land of Biafra has people. Without a doubt, we have the human resources. We have those who have the capacity to repatriate part of their wealth and businesses to Biafra land and it will flourish and create employment for our people and develop our land and begin to bring it at par with the Community of Nations. This enabling environment to allow this massive influx of capital from our people will require that the men on the ground must be very active. And when I talk about the men on the ground, I mean the ESN. It is on this basis that I want to call upon parents and guardians. Of course, the politicians have received their message, or have received their message. Now, parents, I'm giving your own message, and guardians, I'm giving your own message, and youths as well. Listen, and listen very carefully. Those of you who have taken up arms against our people, tabubo, meaning that today is still a day of grace. It does not matter what anybody tells you. If you were 10 at the beginning, you're probably left with 2 or 3. If you can listen to what happened to your colleagues, you have the opportunity to turn a new leaf. And when I say turn a new leaf, I'm not saying you should drop your gun and come and join ESN. No, it can't happen. We cannot be, ESN will never be contaminated with the crime that has been committed by many of you whose hands are dripping with the blood of the innocent in our land. You go out, you go and kidnap a man. You kidnap a man, you ask for the family to give you ransom, they give you ransom, and you kill the man. How much wicked can you be? How much mindless? How much barbaric can you be? And you think, because you have a gun? Well, if you don't know, there's something bigger than gun, and many of you already know that. I'm therefore asking parents to call their children to order. At least tell them, so that you will not be part of the responsibility when the time will come, because it will be. Did you tell your child? Did you speak to your word? Talk so that let's say that you spoke and they did not listen. You have done your duty. You have done your part. The consequences that will fall upon him and her alone, and you may not be part of it. But after you have listened to my message today, and you continue to believe that the blood money that your ward or your child will be bringing to you from killing other people is what will make you, I don't know what it's going to make you, but it's not going to make you anything. It's not going to make you anything. Those of you who are in cold criminality in our land, using cultism, this is not what your parents sent you to go and do in the university. It's not that you're not the only people who went to university. I can tell you, me, Mazi Edoziem, where I went to university is the hotbed of cultism. You must not be part of it. It's not what your parents send you to. Ask. Even if I don't call the school I want to go, ask which country in the zoo in the 90s and 80s and late 20s is the hotbed of cultism in the zoo. Happily found naked and food and the rest of it. Children must denounce all forms of cult activities in our land. Honorable, you that the politicians are using to cause problem. When they will use you and they have used you to their satisfaction, they will dump you, and you will be no hand will cover you, nothing will save you when that time comes. There is a time for you to call yourself to order. And parents, this is a time for you to call your girls and your children to order. Biafra land will not be a land of anarchy where courtism and crimes hold sway. On the land of Agani, I swear that will not happen. Agana and Igbo. It will not happen. Therefore, you take your time now and retrace your steps. This is where ESM comes in. I can shock Biafrans. Let me even tell you that from the moment Mazi Chika was arrested in 2021, June, July, up to this moment, the indigenous people of Biafra, the Eastern Security Network, and every other arm of this movement has been sustained by the IPOB family members. When something happened in Enugu, they will say, it has happened. ESM, please come. ESM will go. When it happens in Ebonyi, they will say, these people have come. ESM, please. ESM will go. If it happens in Anambra, in Imo, in Abia, it is the same story. We have sacrificed our men for the benefit of the general people of Biafra land. We have sacrificed our sweat, our resources for the good of the land and its people. We will continue to do that because we know that what we have achieved is an impossibility if we were on our own and our ancestors were not with us. It is an impossibility. How can you fight an establishment like the zoo that doesn't know what to do with money and fight them to a standstill? It is not by our power. And that is why I want to publicly acknowledge that our success, we owe it to the ancestors of Igbo land, ancestors of Biafra land, and above all to Chukwu Okike Abiama. And with them before us, our destination and our final, objective is laid bare before us. It is laid bare before us. ESN needs the support of our people, even if it is moral support. We're not asking you to give us your money. Like I said, Chukwu Okike will provide Ifegeji Wechuliaja. Because we don't even need your money, because we don't want the politicians' money that are their blood money. We cannot contaminate this very holy struggle with such resources. But what I ask you to do is to give these young men, give them the support that they need morally, because they will need it for the battle ahead. Is the battle coming? Yes, it is coming. We will be ready. By the land of Biafra and by our ancestors, we shall be ready. And of course, Chukwu Okike Abiama being our strength. Our men have left the comfort of their homes, like I'm speaking to you here now. Here it is winter in Switzerland. It's cold. Snow is outside. But I'm in the four walls of my apartment here is warm. These men are in the bushes. If it rains, it falls on them. If the sun shines, it falls on them. If the mosquito comes, it falls on them. What they see, it's not all that they see that they will tell you. But it's for you to understand how they have volunteered themselves and making this sacrifice year in, year out. It's about 4 years they were set up. You will see. Where is he? Yes, don't worry. Our actions speak for us, not too much of talking. Our actions is what speaks for us. Therefore, in the Biafra that we are, in the new year that we are entering into, there is a set of people that I must call upon. If you like, misunderstand this. If you like, don't misunderstand it. I'll give you an example. In Switzerland, there is a project. There is a project from the city, the main city of Bern, to a neighboring city where they want to build what we call tram. You know, you call this small, what do they call it again? Metro, something like that. They want to build a metro. This has been on for God knows how long. It's been on, if not more than 10 years. And it's been there. The people have voted that this will go in. But do you know some of the reasons why this project hasn't? In fact, now it's taking off. It's taking off after every agreement has been reached. But do you know what was keeping the project from taking off? It is because along the path this metro will pass, there are trees, OCC, both old and young trees. And the people are saying, if you bring this development, it's a development too. I want people to listen. It's a development. But if you bring this development, it will destroy this tree that has been there for a very long time. Until compromise was reached and some of the trees will be preserved. And those that will be removed, immediately the project finishes, they will replace the same tree that they removed. Where am I going with this? I am going with this example to what is happening in our land. Our people are bad. Apologies. When I say you're mad, I'm not abusing you or insulting you. But our people have gone mad. Somebody will go into our ancient forest. About me, Pastor Amari, the man of dog or God. Or he will tell you, no CCRD here. No, you have your custom, you know, no family cost, no, you have a problem of your family. Go and bring it down. If live, you go and cut your Ife dinana before you go and destroy it. See no, I don't know. I honestly, I don't even understand what they call, but they will tell you it's a tree that is causing a problem. It's a shrine that is causing a problem. You know, there was a lighter move that Chimamanda made once. Of course, she said it in a joking way, in a funny way, but she made a sense. She made some sense in what she said. She was saying that she was more than taken aback when she went to visit some of these things outside of Biafra, that is in foreign countries, and she has to pay money. Those things that we burn, we take it out, put fuel on it, and burn it, and say it is ROC, it is the devil, it is Satan. We burn it. Don't forget that the white man came and stole many of them from your land. They stole it, or they stole them from your land, and they have. If you see where they put these things, with air condition, man, these things, when it was in our land, it was in the nature. But they now put it, of course, where they put it is not the best. That's not, but for understand why they put it where they put them. And then you go there and pay money to see this thing from your land. And somebody will call himself a pastor and say, this thing is a problem in your family. Destroy it. Excuse me. Hello. I want to say, or ask a question. All those pastors that are, they have nothing in their head to tell their people what their problem is. Imagine for a day, Biafrans, imagine for a day that those who believe in Ordinana, who call upon the ancestors of the land, begins to go and tell their members that it is the church that is causing their problem. Of course, when they do that, it means those Ordinana don't know what they are talking about. It's because the church is not the problem. Will be whether the land is good or not. Now, Oyodna will tell those who believe, they'll call themselves and say, this church is the problem, let's go and burn it. If that happened once, happened twice, happened thrice, there will be an uproar now. There will be uproar, even internationally. People will say that our people have started persecuting Christians. But now that they are destroying Oro Obibosina Ebe Belu Megan Ugo Belu Ego Ebe Belu Ugo Belu. Live and let live. What is your problem? Biafra land is a place where you can practice what you believe in without you interfering in what other person is believing in. And if we have made it a point of duty for you to continue to go and burn our trees and then burn our bushes because it is, you say it is, one day you will go in there, you will not come out. And I want those who have this mindset to stop it. To stop it before it consumes them. The other thing that I want to talk to our people about is, I want to outside here. In fact, I brought those of you who came home for this Christmas time, I'm sure you have gone to the market to go and price only kola nut or oji. If you know go and look for okwa. If you know, go and look for all these fruit trees that our land was blessed with. You will go and build your house. You will remove part of nature from your environment. My brother, you are not complete. You are not complete. If you go on to continue to cut down these trees, give up folia. What are you going to show your children in 20 years? Pictures, right? Photo. This is how it used to be. This is how we used to have it. This is origin. This is that. Please, my people, our problem is not on the trees we have in our land. They are there to help and assist us, to sustain us. If you build a house and you to have a space, if there are no more space for you to put put one in that your compound. Mro abu ni acha ibutu ye. Abu ni chori iputa manu nenye. Go and sell it. It will benefit you and benefit those around you. If you are too name it, but you will need it. Ijiro money sini. Ijiro the canals and the shafts, whatever other things. Their usefulness cannot be overemphasized. This is a long broadcast today, but it is long for a purpose. And I am not speaking long grammar for you. I am giving you a message. Listen to it to your benefit, to your good, to your well-being. Ignore it to your detriment. Those states that have given Chinese people contracts to go into our reserved forest. If you clean all this forest, where are you going to have reserve? Reserve. America, China, all of them, they have their reserves. Forest. You can't go in there to even take a flower. You have reserve to cut a tree. And you governors or whoever call himself a PG or or I don't know, you will see the land of your ancestors. You go and give it a foreign to come and cut the trees in the if you do not retrace your steps and if you do not stop. This brings me to the final point I have today, and like I said, I'm sure after this broadcast, people will be turning their head. What is these people going? Where are they going? What are they talking about? My last broadcast, I remember, or the one before, I said that the political system of the Biafran nation will be a natural political system. Natural in the sense is it's not going to be a borrowed system. Don't bother all these this film and na social media. It has no place in our land, because if you really want to cleanse the land, if you want to ensure to restore what was destroyed, if you begin on a wrong premise, you will end up causing more calamity upon the land. Therefore, I am today asking those who were initiated, properly initiated into the group of Indians and also in Ali Igbo, those who do not have falsehood in their tongue, those who see white and call it white and black and call it black, go and take your Ozo cap and the feather that is usually attached to it, dust it and be ready. For our ancestors has a job for you to do in our land. Ohanes and Nibo is being given the opportunity to amend themselves. And when they do not, we will call our ancestors to take their charge. And therefore, the last message I have is the one that I was giving directly to give to our people. And I want to tell you that you have remained focused. You have remained dedicated. You have remained devoted to this cause. Despite the fact that when we started on a very rough terrain. We started on a rough terrain, a terrain that is the base of the mountain. Strewn with rocky places and stones. That was where IPOB began this journey. And from that base of the mountain, we moved on. We were climbing this mountain. As we were climbing the mountain, stones get lost. They will lose themselves from where they were held formerly, and roll down towards those of us climbing. Millions of Biafrans. Many could not continue the journey to the top. Many remained on the base of the mountain. Many on the way they stopped. But I can tell you today that those who were committed and those who have given all, we are at the peak of that mountain. We have overcome every of the obstacles that were thrown on our path as we embarked upon the journey to ascend to the highest peak or point of this very movement, of this very agitation, which is a peak upon which we now stand, and we look down the plains and we see the lush vegetation of the restored Biafra land. The step to that very large land of Biafra, it will not be as strenuous as what is behind us, but it may come also less but more ferocious. We have to be prepared. We have to be ready. There is no way that we can turn back. We cannot go back to Israel. We cannot go back to the base of the mountain. After seeing the green plains of a freed Biafra nation, we cannot move back. And it is the reason why I am calling on everybody today, the 1st of January 2025, to key into this project. If you let yourself be on the path, be on the sideline, it is left for you. You make your decision. But don't be a stumbling block to this very, very project. Our ancestors, therefore, has asked me to tell Biafrans that they must continue to remain not only devoted, but not let themselves be distracted. Don't do anything in anger or in haste. Onye bube chills on above no so. I know that after this very broadcast, people will begin to go to their Libya to do what they want to do. It's left for you. Very simple. But I am assuring all of you tonight that we are on this journey not alone. We have never been alone for a long time. And that is why you may be waiting for us to come and act film for you on social media. We won't do that. This project has taken blood of our people, and anybody who is making a caricature of it, his blood will go into it. I therefore thank you, great and wonderful Biafran people, for listening to me today. And I call upon you to join your hands with the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. I call upon you today to join your hands with the only defensive mechanism that we have in our land, the Eastern Security Network. These young men and women, they are dedicated to the work that they have been called out to do. And sometimes they watch their comrades fall before their presence. They watch their comrades fall before their presence, yes. And it doesn't deter them. It doesn't stop them. Rather, it propels them to continue on the journey until freedom is achieved. And that freedom we must achieve. That freedom we together shall achieve by the grace of Chukwukikabiama, and of course, by the guidance of Ajanigo and of our ancestors. I thank you for listening, and for me, from here, I say good afternoon, good morning, good night, and good evening. Thank you. And may Chukwukikabiama